Welcome back to Fire and Lemon, everyone. What a gorgeous day to work outside. Yes, it's a little rainy, but I'd rather be outside than inside right now. And everybody's stuck inside, so it's a good day to work outside. Today, we're going to be tearing apart our siding. I know you can't see from that angle, but I'll bring you around in a second to show you. I bought this house 25 years ago, and probably 15-20 years ago I painted and caulked and tried my best to take care of the wood siding, but as you'll see, it needs to be replaced. So now is the time to do that. So that's what we're gonna do this weekend. I've got some nice Hardie Board, and we're gonna pull this stuff off. Thankfully I've got my son to help me, and we'll tear this apart. I was fortunate to have scaffolding to work off of. It'll make the job so much easier. So let me show you what I'm up against with this siding and what we got to do. So this is a view that you can see. My attic vent has seen better days, but it actually is in not bad shape. It is really paper thin now, and it definitely needs replacing. And there's a bunch of wasps nests in there, and that has to come down. But the siding actually, it's hard to tell in this light, but you can see some major caulking repairs. I don't know if this comes up very clearly, but the wood was pretty destroyed when I did paint it. Now shortly after that we hated this color, but that's besides the point. We're gonna go with a nice different color, but I'm surprised how well it actually did last. Like I said, I think the other side's far worse, but I'll show you in a second. Anyways, we are going to replace it. I'm going to actually replace this this vent as well with something newer. I know this is typical of this house, this style, but trying to replace this with Hardie boards just not an option, and I didn't want to replace this with another wood that I end up having to replace another 10-15 years. So I'll show you an angle from down below. Well, it's hard to get an angle on this, a good shot on this side because I'm on an angle, but you can see the overhangs I did a year or two ago, and it's they're in great shape obviously, but the cedar shake and the cedar tongue and groove up there just are done. They've had better days and they need to come off. So we have scaffolding, I have help. Let's get to work. Okay, so something went wrong. Somebody forgot to hit record. We took all the siding down and the vent came out. What I realized was the vent wasn't even nailed in. It was just dangling. So anyways, we're changing vents. because those louvers, while I know it's more typical for this kind of a house, it's not worth the effort. So I've ordered one. So what I have to do is, I've got like a half a moon. What I have to do is fix this opening so I can put plywood on the rest of it, and then, you know, place and mount that vent in here now. So what I need to do is figure out the it's 34 by 22, and if I look at this, my 22 is way down here, so I'm gonna have to cut this wall out a little bit, and that's what I'll do right now. How's it look? Steady?
Mm-hmm.
God, they got like 12-inch spikes on a piece of trim. Got it. Got your arm too? Nope.
Sheer luck.
Well, we'll see in slow-mo. There's no nails. Dorito birds here. Yeah.
Huh?
Dorito.
Dorito.
Should we nail in trim that has nothing to do with anything? Let's use big, huge spikes.
Your railway ties are a great way to do that. As long as you don't split the trim itself, it works just good.
There we go. I ain't going anywhere.
So Dad, you don't want me to cut out the hole though, right?
No.
Okay. It's a little bit over from 34, but that's okay, right?
Hold on.
Huh.
No.
I'm thinking I need a piece 45s. Give me two 14s on the long side, 45ing in. This house was built in the 50s, probably the late 50s, I think 1958. And when it was originally designed, it was the attic was vented through large triangular vents that were custom built. I found out that you can't buy these things, so I did some searching on how to build it, and I realized that it's very complicated to make these things, and you really much have to make it out of wood. So I decided to mock it up, and I tried to make this myself. I didn't really want to do it out of wood outside of the frame, so I was going to try and do it out of Hardie Board, but I realized that it's just far too much complications. So I took an easy route, and I went and bought some vents. Now these are not exactly cheap, but they are cheaply made plastic, so it doesn't really suit the style of the house so much, but I wasn't overly concerned about that as I was the airflow. As you can tell, there's going to be a big difference between these two and the amount of flow that it allows into the attic, which is really important. But when they did design this house, they also didn't include vents in the overhang. And I'll show you now that I did the overhangs, which are really large, and I love them, but they didn't have any venting. So the problem with that was that the wood would rot. So I redid that a few years ago, and I included vents all the way across. And what a difference it made in the airflow in the roof, in the attic. So going into this style, I'm not overly concerned with the small reduction in the available airflow. So that's what we're going to do. So I went and bought these, and this is what it'll look like. It comes apart. There's a gasket here, or a trim. So I'm going to mount these on, and then after I do all the siding, I put on the trim, and Bob's your uncle. My other drill broke. This is a great drill, but this is not the drill for the job. This thing's like 50 pounds. I need a new one. gorgeous day we have today. We finally finished. We've got all the prep work done outside of the louvers. I've spent a couple of excellent weekends with my son. That's probably the best part, is spending time with my kids. I just love it. And I think he kind of likes it too. Might not admit it, but anyway, so we're on to the next stage. Today we're going to finish off this video with all the prep work that we've done, and the next video will show you moving on to the Hardie Board and the installation. One last thing, you probably saw me struggling. This isn't paid for or sponsored by DeWalt, so, but if they want to, no problem. You probably saw me struggling with my old drill, and yeah, then I started using another drill which was way too big and way too heavy, so it might have been a little cursing involved. Anyway, so I went and bought myself one, and let's check out what's inside. Nice carrying case. What do we got? Some manuals. We got a charger, hammer drill. That'll come in handy. Ooh. Nice little impact wrench. Couple of batteries, some clips, and a nice bag. And all made in the USA. Good quality stuff. Okay, so now I don't have to use that big massive drill that's corded and very heavy and awkward to use on a ladder high up. I can use something that's a lot more lightweight and functional, I guess. So I think we'll end it off here. Again, thank you guys. See you next week.